Why is it that I have to call close to 10 times every night before you decide to answer, if you even ever do? I have a scheduled time to talk to my children, and when you do this, you are breaking court order. I am not sure what you are talking about. Whenever you call, I answer or immediately call you back. You need to answer the phone when I call to talk to my children. Especially Fridays, which are the hardest days for me to get off of work and call in time. This is pathetic. My mom is not doing well today, and all she wants is to pass the time with her grandchildren, and you are preventing this. So I need you to answer immediately. Follow the court order and start acting like an adult and not a child. This whole scheduled phone call time thing is bullshit too, and I should be allowed to have open communication with my children. We have a job to do to raise 3 children, and this takes both of us whether you like it or not. It is currently after 6 p.m. Instead of texting to harass me, why don't you call to talk to the kids? I try to call every damn day, and you never answer. I busted my ass making sure to survive being married to you, and I'm still trying to get used to all the shit you have done to this family. So maybe you could tone down this bitch-ass attitude you always have. You've already proven how evil you are, so why not just try to be cordial? Why not try to be civil instead of making everything so difficult for me? Just answer the phone instead of playing this game, because it's become a pattern, and I can prove it. I cannot answer phone calls that I do not receive from you. If you'd like to call now, you are able to and actually talk to your children. Once again, I easily prove you're lying. I'm smarter than you. Nick, canceled calls means you hung up before it actually connected. If you are going to provide proof, at least make it believable. I'm asking you to start answering the phone. Can your little brain at least handle that one task? That's in the court order. Start following it. It is now after 7. Instead of calling to talk to your children, you spent an hour harassing me. If a phone call is so important to you, why do you not use them? Oh my God, why are you still texting me? Fuck off. So you are really going to put the children through us going to court again tomorrow? Don't you think the first time was bad enough? Haven't you won already? Our children should have no idea that we are going to court. They should not be involved in legal matters whatsoever. They are children. They are children who are seeing their father being Abu Dalal by the legal system and their mother. They need to understand that daddy didn't choose to abandon them, but their mother and the courts made him. No one is making you abandon the boys. This is just what happens when people separate and divorce. If you could be civil and work with me, you would be able to see the children more often. I will never be kind to you again. I was kind to you for years. I gave you my love. I gave you 3 babies. And I worked my ass off for you. You ruined that side of me when you betrayed your vows and stole my life away. Okay, Nick, that is your choice. It does not hurt me. It only hurts you in the long run. Did you know that kids that grow up without their father in the home are more likely to commit suicide? That's what you are setting your children up for. It just shows how much you really care. I think you're reaching to cause drama, Nick. Our boys will not have that future. They will be in therapy to work through this, and you will still be involved in their lives. Being concerned over our sons' lives is not reaching. It's a scientific fact, not just my opinion. Just because you couldn't handle being a good wife, you're sending our sons off to the slaughter. You are so incredibly selfish. I am done with this conversation. I will no longer be entertaining this kind of messed up delusion you're having. Our children are happy, loved, and safe. Do not try to force that narrative. Oh, I'm not forcing anything. I'm just telling it like it is. You are sacrificing our sons to jump on a different dick. That's all you. I was willing to endure your abudalery for the rest of my life to save my children from a torn home. You don't love them as much as I do. I will see you in court tomorrow, and the judge will see that you are pure evil. He will see that I am the parent who loves these children the most, and that I am the one they need to be with. If anyone should commit suicide, it's you. Don't be selfish. That's the best thing you could ever do for these kids. Just bow out now. Court is now in session pertaining to the custody of the children of Nick and Bailey. Please ensure your internet connection is stable throughout the process to avoid interruptions. Your Honor, I would like to ask for a continuance, as I have still been unable to find an attorney. Why have you been unsuccessful in finding an attorney? I believe that my previous attorney has slandered me to other attorneys in the area. Ever since she dropped my case, I have been unable to even receive a call back from law offices. I also cannot afford one due to the amount of child support I am ordered to pay. That is not a valid reason to grant a continuation. We will proceed with the hearing today. Then I demand to have my case transferred to a new judge. It is clear that you are going to be biased against me and in favor of her. This is unfair. Why do you assume that I am biased against you after 5 minutes? That's a joke, right? Isn't it pretty obvious? No, it isn't. So once again, your request is denied, and we will continue. What are you asking for out of this hearing? I want primary custody of my children. They do not want to be with their mother and are extremely unhappy in her home. I believe she is neglectful and is damaging our children. Why do you believe this? My babies cry and beg to stay with me every time they leave. If you would allow me to, I have multiple videos to show you of my children telling me about how their mother physically Abu-Dollar-esses them. She refuses to let my children have a childhood. She will not sign them up for summer camps or sports, and is no longer allowing them to play with the children in the neighborhood. She keeps them locked in her house, and they hate her. I am their father, and I want them to be happy, and they are not happy there. She doesn't even like them. She is just using them to hurt me more. She was a neglectful wife and mother who ruined her family for no reason. If you believe that your children have been physically Abu-Dollar-ed, have you contacted the police or CPS? I received no paperwork from you about the case. I didn't want her to know I knew. I wanted to be able to use this to take custody from her today. So you allowed your children to stay in an Abu-Dollar-ed situation to better your chances in court. I did what I thought was best for my kids to get them into my custody and away from that monster. You don't understand what she is like, Your Honor. I was all my babies had for years, until she tricked the last judge to take them away from me. Which is why you immediately broke court order and withheld your oldest child from their mother, causing police involvement. Like I said, everything I do is for the best interest of my children. I would love to call my kids to testify, as I know they are at home with their mother right now. This courtroom will not willingly involve children of that age in a custody battle. Then am I at least allowed to cross-examine Bailey? She has to be honest on the stand, and you will see how she destroyed a family for no reason. You are allowed to cross-examine the other party, since you do not have an attorney to do it for you. But I will warn you to remember the rules of court. This will be done civilly. Thank you, Your Honor. You will see exactly what I am telling you about once this is done. Bailey, is it true that you are my wife and mother of my 3 children? We are still legally married. And yes, we have 3 children together. Is it true that I allowed you to stay home and not work while we were together? That you were able to have a comfortable life while I worked long hours to support our family? Once you were stationed overseas, yes, I did stay home to care for the children. I worked on the home and raising the children while you worked at your job. It wasn't easy for either of us. I didn't ask you if it was easy for you. Please focus on answering my questions instead of twisting the subject. Next question. Is it true that I had to come home and clean and cook while you laid around doing nothing? You cooked dinner for a week when I was put on bed rest during my final pregnancy. And they were generally frozen meals. I don't understand how this is relevant. It shows exactly what kind of woman you are. It is relevant. Next question. Is it true that even though you claim not to love me, we had sex the night before you left me and took my children? Your Honor, how is this relevant at all? Move on, sir. That is not relevant to child custody and is not something to bring up in a courtroom. If she hates me so much, why did she have sex with me? That's very relevant.